Hello, Sagittarius. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. Welcome to your April 2026 forecast. It's good to see everybody. The reason that this is coming out in the middle of the month before I get into anything is I'm in the middle of coordinating a mini move just down the hall because there's been some issues in my apartment with my air conditioning and heating unit. It's no longer safe to use, and they need to come in and do some construction and remediation. So I will not be coming back to this space. So I needed to take a week to just deal with life. But as I told some of the previous signs, it's well worth the wait because while I was waiting, I got a lot of information for you. And this is the portion in the reading that we talk about it. So we're going to get into the channeled messages. The one word, if I could kind of summarize all of this for you, is like magic. It feels like this is you finding your inner magician or high priestess and really starting to work your magic. So that may be the title for this video. Let's talk about why I'm going into that sort of general energy. So what I saw in dreams for you was a closet with a broomstick in it, the closet representing hidden desires, things that you might have actually put underneath the surface, and then just in this moment in time, Spirit is saying, come out of that. Be yourself. Step into your true authentic self and take that broom and clear things out in your life. Clearing, cleaning, and resetting has been thematically something that all signs have been dealing with. But you were not given just like a tool to do it, but then also a symbol of magic. Because if you think of a witch, the broomstick is magic and it represents the ability to go from one space to another. So whatever requires attention, whatever might be in that sort of figurative closet, when you clear it, you are going to be able to fly, jump, or move to the next chapter quickly. So if there's been any hesitation in the past thinking, oh, I don't want to do this, or it's going to take a long time, or people may judge me if I, sort of show this part of myself, now is the time. It's going to be all right. It will be better when you open the door, take that broom, and become yourself, okay? The next thing that I saw was opening of all of the windows in the space, this sort of liminal space. It looked like a home, but I watched as a person opened every single window to allow the energy to move. So opening the door, opening the windows, revealing. It feels like the multiple windows could be opportunities. I saw at least 3. So there might be a lot of things that are tugging at your attention. And that's why it's important to clear your mind, to clear the air, and then to figure out which window of opportunity you want to embrace first. And it doesn't necessarily mean that going through one sort of negates being able to also do the other, but I do feel like there has to be a prioritization. So that you can't be everywhere at once, in other words, okay? So windows of opportunity presenting themselves after a little bit of work has been done within you and when you own your inner sort of magician. The next thing that I saw was the need to write things down. So journaling, planning, and maybe even signing something on the dotted line and making a contract or a promise with yourself. This is going to be sort of that magic piece that will bring it all into focus. So I can't wait. Literally, I can't wait to shuffle the cards and watch and see how you're going to work your magic this month. Again, it's my pleasure, my honor to be here. Thank you for your patience, all right? You may hear some noises in the background. It's because my window's open too. So thank you for understanding as I'm dealing with some glitches in the environment. All right, let me get this focus. And as we're doing this, by the way, if you enjoyed this video, quick reminder, the easiest way to show some support is just to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what's going on with your life and how this resonated with you as well. All right, I have everything set up here. Let me just make sure that you can see me. We'll zoom in a little bit more. That's better. And I'm using a magical deck today too. They're all magical, but this is the Last Unicorn. I'll make sure to link it in the video. It's one of my favorites. And I felt like it would be appropriate for today. So while I'm shuffling the video, I'd love for you to close your eyes, see yourself in a place that feels safe and sacred to you. Imagine, if you will, that the sun is shining and creating a ray of light around your body. Within that circle, you are safe, protected, and connected. Let's welcome in angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, and of course, your higher self too, okay? And let's see what Spirit has to say. Interesting. Okay, one of these cards already revealed itself over here, but I'll go ahead and give you a dual card since that. We've had a few that are flipping out of the deck, which to me always represents that there's a lot of energy and a lot of information present. Apollo just joined us in the background too, so I'll show him before we get started. All right. Let's go from the bottom and the top. Right there. All right. All right. As promised, let me show you Apollo, then we'll get into the catalyst. Hey, buddy. Welcome. It's good to see you. Yes, good boy. All right. We'll let Apollo be. You have 2 catalyst cards that came through today. As I was picking up the deck, the solar plexus card flew out, so we'll talk about that first. And then clarifying it, we have discernment, which is a powerful word and also a really powerful tool. So we'll start off with solar plexus. There's a lot to read here. I want to actually just talk about the solar plexus first, and then we'll accentuate it with this very long paragraph. So solar plexus, where you hold your power. It's also a place where you can kind of infuse your particularly your communication, because the diaphragm is there, with power. So focus on your posture when you're talking to people. Cut any cords that might exist between you and people that no longer really serve you. If you feel like depleted or wiped out after having a conversation with someone, afterwards meditate and imagine that you could pull out whatever connection exists there between you and that person in the solar plexus. You can always re-cord with someone, but it feels like there are some old cords that need to be released, and the solar plexus is one of the spaces showing up. All right, very quickly, I'd like to read through this bottom caption. It says, the frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. So that pretty much is what we just talked about. But the knowing piece, because I think they even italicized knowing there, trusting in your gut. That's right where your gut is. If something doesn't sit well, if after given time to kind of think about it and digest the information, it still isn't sitting well, just like food that you eat and kind of feel unsettled with, you wouldn't repeat that. You would change what you're putting into your mind, body, and spirit. So I really want you to pay attention to your gut. It will not lead you astray. Now, clarifying this card, we have discernment. And before we even talk about discernment, it's just basically being choosy and selective and really making sure that you are unafraid to say yes or no to something, knowing that you already on a soul level have aligned to the path in front of you. Don't agree to something just because someone pushes you or just because you feel an obligation. Do it because it's right. All right, let's read the caption. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. So because you're detached, you're not going to think, I need to do this because they will love me or hate me or approve of me. I am going to look at this, evaluate it, discern whether it's right for me, and then decide. So discern, then decide if you want to go down the path, okay? You may have some power challenges this month. The solar plexus can be someone coming in and saying, are you sure? Or they might want to say, I want this, and they're seeing if you're going to push back on it. So don't be afraid to use your voice. And again, in all major decisions, be discerning and focus on the gut instinct. All right, at the center of your spread, I love the Fool. I think this is a great way to kick things off today because it's really about stepping forward, one step at a time. So often we get into our heads and we worry, what if this happens? What if that happens? And sometimes this can be sort of an energy that just stops progress, stops growth. So this is saying you don't have to have it all solved today. Wherever you are, meet yourself there and say, I can do this today to get closer to this goal. Or go into that, sort of like a figurative closet and say, I'm going to clean out this old feeling or this old energy so that I have room for something more. One step. Also, it typically has the number 0. It's really hard to see it. It's right there. But the 0 is representing a reset. So every day can be a reset if you allow it to be. When you go to bed, park your troubles outside, clear your mind, and in the next morning think, today inherently is different than yesterday. and there's so many possibilities in front of me. Let's just step towards that, okay? I love the brilliant energy on this card, and I really do feel like you're just one step away from an opportunity, a breakthrough, a new idea. One of those windows that I saw in the liminal space is coming through, and it's saying, let's go, let's open it up, let's see what's out there. To that end, crossing the center card, we have the Ace of Swords. This is an idea, this is follow through, this is communication. Something is coming forth, and I don't think it's going to be that hard for you to prioritize what your main focus should be. The Ace of Swords reminds you to walk the walk and talk the talk, because it's not just communication, it's action. So that prioritization list that I was talking about, make sure that each day when you walk into the energy of the Fool, you think to yourself, all right, today, this is what I do. It doesn't matter how little or how much progress I made yesterday. This is the goal today. This is connected to writing. So for those of you, remember I said write it down? This is great. If you are trying to create some sort of a formula or a recipe, write it down. If you are planning something out, a blueprint, some sort of a document or a schematic, write it down. If there's a creative idea that's coming forth, record it, because it has legs. It can go the distance, but it does require capturing so that you can eventually kind of work with it in the future. Think of dreams. If you don't immediately write something in the journal, you're going to forget in 5 minutes and definitely in like 5 hours. You'll have a hard time going back to that space. So it feels like the muses are coming this month. Creative energies and juices are flowing, but it's important to speak it, write it, and do it, okay? And that's basically what this Ace of Swords is representing, as well as an opportunity that might just be right there in front of you. So act on that. We have one of the first challenges coming through in your deep past. Thankfully, it is in the past. It's the Ten of Swords. What I like about this version of the Ten of Swords is we're not looking at a person on the ground with the swords in their back, but we're looking at a bird that's rising up. And it might even be able to see or identify the pattern that created the Ten of Swords before. So if you know how the story ends, you don't have to go back and repeat it. You can what? Rewrite the entire narrative, because the Fool is a new start. The Ace is saying, I'm going to take a different path. And you're maybe finally coming to the point where you can look at a painful chapter that's in the deep past, not like last week, maybe more like last year, or maybe even 10 years ago. You can look at it now and say, it wasn't fun, but wow, was it informative. And wow, did I grow and learn what I didn't want and what I shouldn't have to do again. So as long as you are learning from that, you might even be able to heal a little bit and say, so be it. Thank you for the experience. I no longer need pain or discomfort as a teacher. That now is empowering what we see here, which is one of my favorite court cards, the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands here is illustrated as a chef. Instead of a magic wand, she's cooking something up, a special brew and a great idea. And just like a chef would attend to their meal or whatever it is that they're preparing, she's saying, get organized, stay focused, and you're cooking up something great. So I love this metaphor as well. If we embrace where the illustrator took us with this, the idea of cooking also involves tasting and testing. So you never know until you try. It's kind of like a new food or a new seasoning. You have to taste it. You don't need to jump headfirst into anything. Taste it, test the waters, see if it feels good for you, try something new, and you just might surprise yourself by doing that. This is also a great card for like boss energy and leadership. So people might be looking to you, just like there's like a head chef in a kitchen. If that chef isn't organized, the entire kitchen falls apart, right? So really making sure that you're using the discernment, knowing what you want, and the solar plexus energy, like leaning into your power, that will empower the Queen of Wands. She represents a spark of intuition. She represents ideation, innovation, going outside of the box. And she can take any situation and whip it into something amazing. So I have a lot of faith in your abilities this month to create, to lead, and to make something happen. In the crowning position, we have Four of Swords coming through. This can represent for some of you a little bit of mental fatigue or even procrastination. And it could just simply be that you've hit a little bit of a diminishing return by working yourself like basically to the point of exhaustion. So if it's been a minute since you've meditated or if you're overdue for a vacation, or if you just need to delegate and basically say, you know what, I can't do this, or I'm overwhelmed, please do that. Because until you do, it's going to be hard to be able to basically kind of like embrace all these opportunities that are on the horizon. Sleep is so powerful. In sleep, not only does the body repair itself, release old feelings, and even work through some of our sort of emotional energy in dreams, but it's also a chance to connect to spirit. I get a ton of messages in both dreams and meditation. You can too. Don't despair if at the beginning you're just so tired that you close your eyes and you feel like you wake up and like time is gone. That's just a sign of sheer exhaustion, and you probably need a little more rest. So make time for things that allow for that rest, relaxation, and recalibration. In addition to that, this is just relaxation in a larger sense, not necessarily just going to bed, but you could decide to spend some leisure time reading a book or watching a movie or just being still. Being still and doing nothing aren't the same thing. Stillness and meditation allow us to collect our thoughts, allow us to tune in, and empower us to basically decide what we want to do next. The 3 swords above representing pain, discomfort, and old energy that you want to release. The sword that's usually right underneath the person sleeping is the ace at the center. So the one thing that could be separating you from your ace is just getting enough rest. This can also be a chance for you to close a chapter, a difficult chapter. So in the deep past, we have the 10 of Swords. This is finally starting to resolve itself, and Spirit is giving you this message right now. Whatever you've been going through cyclically, whatever has been challenging and you feel like, gosh, this again, it's the last time if you want it to be. But you have to decide both on a personal level and then also say it to Spirit. Say, for once and for all, rather, I am done with this. I'm ready to move forward, and let's see what's coming through in that forward energy. One more test. So we have the 5 of Swords here. The 5 of Swords can be the inner saboteur. So just about the time you're ready to do it, the inner saboteur whispers to you, you're not good enough. It's not going to happen because of this, this, or this. Dismiss that voice. It does not hold validity. It's an echo of the past. It comes from someone in the past who rejected you, or simply the fear of a repetition of patterns, which I've already told you Spirit is conveying loud and clear. It can stop now. So dismiss that fear. There could also be someone in your environment that may not be the best person to lean on or trust. And these 2 cards have to do with that. Solar plexus, they're going to test your decision-making ability and also just your authority. And the discernment card is here coming through saying, don't second guess yourself. Trust when your gut says, I don't think I'm going to do this. I don't think I want to connect with this person. Cord cut if necessary. There may also be a person in your environment or direct vicinity that just isn't ready to have the conversation. Before you get all of your words out, they interrupt, or when you say something that's constructive, they take it too personally. They're just on the defensive and they're not ready to listen, integrate, and to grow from an experience. So either pivot and focus on something else, or just decide once and for all that this isn't worth the time and energy either. But for the inner saboteur, it just is an echo of the past and it doesn't have to repeat itself. Okay, there's a lot coming through when we're looking at you, and I actually quite like it. The first of the 2 cards is Strength, and right beneath it we have Judgment. We'll start off with Strength. If we compare this with the traditional card, it is a basically battle that you can overcome. As we see here, there's a woman that is able to tame the beast. So in a negotiation, in any sort of challenge in front of you, it's not that you have the upper hand or anything. It's just really that in this moment, you can meet that adversary face to face and surprise them with other powers that you might have, like knowledge, sensitivity, intuition, all the things that I've been seeing in this spread. Lean into those powers. And in this moment, go ahead, overcome the block. But know this is a card that requires a lot of energy. So you can do it now, but you shouldn't have to keep pushing somebody to see it from your perspective, especially if this is a relationship or friend or a family member. There comes a point where it's like, I don't want to do this all the time, okay? Because it's too much. It'll take away your strength. You have the strength to do it, but just like we see here, it can be very exhausting over time. You shouldn't have to always defend yourself. This is also, from a health perspective, saying pay attention to your body. Build up your strength and your, resilience. So make sure that you are eating well, exercising, and sleeping like we talked about. Beneath the card, we have a wake-up call and a transformational card. So this illustration is based on the movie where he transforms a unicorn into a human. So literally you could step into something new. And if we look at the traditional card, we see souls rising up from the dead to go to the next phase. So one chapter closing, another one opening, and a more powerful one opening at that. In your life, there could also be a brush, a health scare, brush with death. And you're like, okay, I don't want to go there. I'm not ready to check out. So make the necessary changes in your life. Learn from your parents, your ancestors, your familial sort of challenges, and you don't have to repeat it. Like I said at the top, you can put that to rest. Also, these two cards work together. So this is something or someone kind of exiting out of your life, and then this is the next phase. What do I want to do next? The angel's coming through and saying, exactly, what do you want to do? And if you know what you want to do, what is holding you back from taking that sword and moving forward? Remember to take action and don't rinse and repeat. This is a time to imagine something different. As we take a look here at the environment, if the card will come up here, we have the devil in reverse. So if we're going to get the devil, I'd rather it not be an immediate block. It's actually okay to have it in the environment because it's something that you can identify. A reversed devil is something that you can also see through. Usually there's something about your spidey senses that's going to identify something as not being good. Ooh, I don't know if I want to hang out with that person. I'm not sure if I should go to that party, or I don't feel good about signing that contract. There's something in your mind that comes through as a clear action. And if you do need to make an edit to that contract or whatever agreement, do it. But also, particularly when we're looking at documents, get a lawyer or an expert to look at it. This is also someone who's trying to be deceptive, but they're a little sloppy. They tell on themselves. The devil usually does. So they may accidentally spill the beans about something, and you're like, oh, that doesn't sound good. They may say to you that they don't think they're good enough for you, or they may just reveal a character trait that you wish you hadn't seen, but now you can't ignore. The devil revealed itself. Trust yourself and your sights, both your physical senses and then spidey senses. When that happens, do not go there, okay? This is also a person, place, or an environment that doesn't support you fully, can't give you what you need. So maybe you love someone, but they're in a relationship, or you're at a job, but there's no upward mobility, or you're trying to make amends with a family member, but they never put in the same effort. It's just not equal. It's just not right. You can't fit, a circle in a square peg or something like that, or a square in a circle, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So don't force the connection. And really, really trust, even though it may be inconvenient or a little bit painful to see it, trust what the devil is showing you as far as like its true characteristics. It can't hide. And that's a good thing because you want to be able to see through that. All right. In hopes, fears, and opportunities, we have the voice, but the voice is having a hard time getting out of the throat. Queen of Swords, one of the best cards of communication. There could be someone in your life that has told you, shh, or to keep your voice down, or they don't want to invite your sort of insights to the table. But as we talked about with this beautifully illustrated Queen of Wands, you have great ideas. It's your moment to speak up when you have something to say. We have someone here who wants to kind of take center stage and is using intimidation, by the way, maybe intimidation in the form of words to quiet you. So don't be afraid to use your throat chakra. Speak up and say, wait a second, I have something to add to that. I'm not finished yet. Or I have an idea. And don't use self-deprecation. That is so important. Don't say, I have a wild idea, or you may not like this, but, or I know I'm not an expert, but just say what you need to say. And that's it. And don't let someone intimidate you. And finally, with the Queen of Swords in the reverse position, well, not finally, penultimately here. Second to last thing I want to say is make sure that you talk the talk and walk the walk. If you said you're going to do something, follow through. And then the final thing here is to take a pulse check, take a temperature check of the room, and make sure that people are ready to connect with you, whoever it is that you're talking to. Even just saying, hey, do you have a moment? I'd love to chat. That's a chance to see if they're available and ready, okay? That can help you make sure that the toning and the timing is correct. Now we have a Hermit card in the outcome, which is great. And we have a hidden one. I was like, wait, there's two. And then the one beneath it is Six of Wands. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, so Hermit card. Many of you may be leaning into research, education, training. You may be kind of cooking something up like we talked about with the Queen of Wands. You know you're onto something good. And I know you're onto something good because we see the Six of Wands after this, which is success. So do whatever you need to do to get really confident. Because we have the devil in the environment, make sure you trust people. Get a representative to help you out to sort of like check all of the criteria, not the criteria, but the, I'll think of it as credentials, particularly if you're going to sign on the dotted line. But taking that out of the equation, hermits sometimes don't want to step into the spotlight. Ironically, they carry a lantern. So it really is your moment to shine if you allow yourself and just trust in your abilities. Once you get past the shyness, we have Six of Wands. Success, momentum, acclaim. It's there for the taking. It's something you've been working on. Success is also subjective, meaning that you can decide what you want success to look like. Everyone around you will have an opinion on what they think you should do or how they think you could be successful. But you already know, the hermit already knows. Trust the inner knowing and don't be afraid. It feels like you're poised for success. You can work your magic, as I said earlier. We're going to expand this a little bit now and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. I will be working at a faster pace today. So if you ever want to book a private reading with me and do a more in-depth appointment, you can do that. All of the information to do just that is on my website, nicholasashbaugh.com/private readings. You can also find it in the navigation. And again, my website is my name, nicholasashbaugh.com. All right. Now let's move into the first of the four categories. We're going to look at health and well-being, your mind, body, and spirit. All right, so in this area, we have the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups is in the reverse position. Some of you may be beating yourself up here because the Five of Cups is a sort of like pivot. It's a paradigm shift if you allow it to be. But sometimes there's the energy of, oh, I could have done that. I would have done that. I wish I had tried that. All of the regrets taking center stage instead of the Two Cups, which are upright. New friendship, new opportunities, the ability also to like pull in new things into your life as well. So mourn what needs to be mourned, but then also look at the blessings. You can look at blessings and blocks. I used to put that little portion in all of my readings. What's blocking you? Can you find a blessing there? And then focus also on how you can leverage the blessings to get to that Six of Wands that we just talked about. Some of you may be grieving something that has come to pass. There is no expiration date on grieving. Sometimes we think we're completely over something, and then you hear someone say a certain thing that just takes you back in time, and you're like, you're that little kid again, or you're at the place where you lost someone and you remember the pain. It will not be as sort of like powerful as it was in the past, but it's coming up now so you can heal, all right? So if that's something that you're dealing with, know that it's here so that you can, again, get to this place where you're ready to kind of put a closure to that, close the chapter. All right, some high-level notes on health for everybody. Gentle exercise, like walking or swimming, great things that, depending on your own body, might be something that you want to connect with. We have a lot of energy around communication and the voice, so some of you might be clearing the throat chakra, and when you're energetically clearing it, there may be things like sore throat, shallow cough, which could also be related to other things in the respiratory system, so obviously get that looked at. But sometimes when we're clearing energy centers, we'll have a little more sensitivity there, so I'm picking up on that. You need quality and quantity of sleep. That's why the Four of Swords is here. This could also represent chronic pain or fatigue, which could be inhibiting this. So if you do have any pain anywhere in the body that's been kind of, bubbling up, obviously get that addressed sooner than later. ASAP, really, so that you can embrace the good stuff here. The devil in the environment can be a bad influence. And for those of you that are sober or have turned a new leaf or corner in any aspect of your life, avoid, who the person or the environment is that would constitute the devil. This is not a time where you want to stand up to that. You need to focus on your own health and happiness. And if you need to connect with like a group or a person, like support group or a therapist that can help you navigate this, please do that. Also, some of you just had a wake-up call, and it could have been out of your control. The devil also represents maybe sometimes things that are out of our control. Just control what you can and really focus on prioritizing health, rest, nutrition, all the kind of core tenets to health and well-being, okay? You will be able to turn a corner here. We have the Six of Wands and the Hermit. Educate yourself, get second opinions, make sure that you trust your doctor and that they vibe with you. All right, let's move on now to wealth, which is your resources, your life purpose, and your career. Here we have Five of Wands. Five of Wands is interesting because you're just one step away from success. But the things that get in the way are typically conflict, wasting your time, energy, and breath on people that aren't ready for it, as we talked about, competition, trying to be the loudest voice in the room. And oftentimes, because we're looking at an area connected to people that are in charge, right? So it could be your boss, it could be some decision maker. They're lacking the vision. You have the vision. It's a matter of finding a way to convey this, okay? So let's briefly look at how you can overcome that Five of Wands energy, conflict, or just spinning your wheels in the mud. So leaning into your power and using your voice. It's not always easy, but this is a month to speak up. Ask questions if you don't understand something, and then make a decision based on that new knowledge. So the Hermit and then discernment. I really do feel like you have what it takes to be a leader, but there is something in the past where there was a failure, a rejection, or a sidestep that took you out of that path and you're thinking it's repetitive. It's not. I do see an end to pain or an end to difficulty, but there's one little thing in the environment that needs to be released. So whether this is particularly for those that are working or for students, don't let this distraction or this trap take you off your path, okay? If people are gossiping, don't partake in that. If your inner voice is getting in the way, do what you can to just tame it and talk to someone that can give you an outside perspective. Ultimately, I see the ability to pivot past a block and really step into your power and success, work your magic. You need to find a place where you can actually express your ideas, use your voice, not have to work yourself to exhaustion, and these sorts of energies you're done with it. I feel like some of you are ready to move and pivot. So students, you might be ready for a travel abroad experience, or you might be looking to shift around your sort of either your major or your course schedule, something you need to do with this newfound clarity. For those that are working, you might need a different experience. So you might be looking for a different industry, etc. And for everyone, whether you're a job seeker, you're looking for an activity or an internship, or you're just retired and trying to think about how to spend your time, I want you to really lean into that discernment. If something looks like it's too good to be true, it probably is. If you get a bad vibe, don't do it. And I think it's really important for you to make sure that you are supported in whatever you're putting your time and energy into. There's also a traveling energy here with the Six of Wands. So if you're looking for work, it might require either a commute or a move, okay? Moving onward to love and relationships. All right, we have a lot of wands that came through this month. This one's the Seven of Wands. There's a lot going on and there's a lot of competition for your time and energy. That's what this represents. Once again, we see someone that's trying to be everywhere at once. It's hard to be everywhere at once. It might even be impossible to be everywhere at once. I mean, it is. So you have to decide where you're going to focus and to whom you're going to put your time and energy and attention, right? Because otherwise you're going to just feel exhausted and unsuccessful in trying to be everything to everyone and everywhere at once, if that makes sense. Okay, what are the powerful things this month coming through? Passion and ideas. And for some of you, a spark. But what I see for some of you too is a lack of a mutual spark. So whether it's your current partner, a new partner, a friend, whoever it is you're trying to pull into your life, if they don't bring what you bring, they're not good enough. Wait, I do see someone better. In the horizon here, whether you're looking for a new friend, a coworker, or a love interest, we have someone who is wise and who sees you for who you are, and this is where the success is. Hermit energy also, it's either wisdom beyond years or it's wisdom and years. So it might be someone that's a little bit older or who just really has a maturity to them. That's what you want to exude yourself, and that's what you want to focus on. The distractions this month, I feel like in existing relationships, there's not enough time. And if you're looking for love, you might just be exhausted. Rest first. Give yourself a little bit of space. Then come back together. Then put the energy towards either resolving current relationship challenges or trying to find someone. In all relationships this month, new, old, and future, we have two cards to be mindful of. Five of Swords is someone who's argumentative or can't listen, or sometimes likes to get under your skin. And the Devil is someone who can't give you what you're looking for. So know that you deserve more than this, and you will find someone. We have the Hermit and we have the Success card here. So I do feel good about future energy. Speaking of future, let's look at Destiny. This is a very interesting card. So we have the cat coming through, intuition being the word that it brings forth. The cat is upside down. One thing that I love about cats is they can land on their feet. So even if you're thrown into a tower moment or a surprise, or this judgment energy is kind of taking you out of your comfort zone, you too can land on your feet. Cats have 9 lives. So you have the ability to rise up, reinvent yourself, and kind of brush off whatever issue came through, provided that you pay attention to it, okay? And then lean into your power. The whole reading today was magic infused. So meditate, do whatever you can to connect to spirit and intuition, whether that's your spiritual practice or something creative like art, music. It can even be, building something. Whatever you do to connect to source and to your muses, now is the time to do more of that. So let's go ahead and take a look at one final question. This can be anything that you need some advice on after listening and looking at this reading. And let's see what Spirit has to say. Let's put this up here, give the cards a shuffle. And I love it. It's what the whole reading's been about today. So it's a yes, the High Priestess. And believing is seeing. If we look in her eyes, she can see what's not there. She can see the future version of herself. And she may also be in, so the whole story of the last unicorn is it's trying to get back to its previous form and also find its family, its siblings, its chosen family, camaraderie. So some of you are projecting and looking out into the future, trying to find that special moment, that special thing. It's there. It's just waiting for you to align to it and also for the right level and set of synchronicities to come through. So yes, but don't lose your faith. Don't lose your vision. During this period of time, please, please, please lean into intuitive abilities and development. We have cards associated with learning like the High Priestess and the Queen of Wands. And all 3 of those come together in a way where you're really aligning to be your most powerful and highest self. So I'm very excited to see how this all pans out for you. This card is telling me throughout the month, you're going to be able to hopefully, if you tune in, see something for what it is when it's in front of you and also intuit what can come next. Develop that, lean into that, keep me posted in the comments. I want to hear how everything is. Let's give Apollo a little pat on the head. He just joined us again. Oh my gosh, he looks so sweet. Hey, buddy. He's a good boy. Yes, you are. We'll let him be because he is feeling super, super, restful, and I don't want to get in the way of that. All right, just a couple of notes. If you enjoy what you see here, there's a lot of ways that you can connect with me. Everything is on my website, so feel free to take a look at nicholasashbaugh.com. From there, you can subscribe to my newsletter. You can follow me across all major platforms. My name is my handle on just about everything, Nicholas Ashbaugh. You can give back through PayPal if you'd like. And as I said earlier, for those of you that want to have a little bit more of a deep connection or conversation, book or schedule a private reading. There are links all over my website for that as well. And here on YouTube, you can give back with a super sticker and also become a member if you'd like. It's a great way to allow videos like this to continue to come through. There's a lot of competition, a lot of places you can go on YouTube. I really do depend on all of you for your support, and I try to give 110% back to you. So thank you in advance for being here. I appreciate you. All right, if you enjoyed this, a quick reminder that each and every month I do daily, weekly, and monthly videos. All of those can be found on my social media, on my main channel page. And I'm here every Sunday for a live stream at 9:15 a.m. Pacific. I'd love to have you attend one of those if you're ready and willing. And once again, thank you so much. Have a great month ahead.